Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I am glad. I You can see my background. I'm happy that I am. I have left the city of Port Harcourt, and I am in my father's house. And I'm just here at the back, at the back of the house with nature. And today we have another session with
Mm.
another mastermind, another powerful author, another great mind that will be sharing with us regarding authoring yourself into authority, wealth, and fame. He has been waiting, and I know he's eager to share his thoughts on these three concepts regarding how you can author yourself into authority, wealth, and fame. Welcome, Mark. Welcome, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Maker. Thank you so very much for having me this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, as usual, as you are joining us on this conversation, let's know where you are tuning in from. Um, Drop your name and the city where you are tuning in from, and let's say hello to you. If you are in Nigeria, good evening. Is evening here. If you are in any other part of the world, please accept our greetings. Good morning or good evening, as the case may be. Okay, so thanks again for you tuning in. This is the Warrital Summit, where we are talking about and having conversations with authors that have been published by the Warito brand. And we are looking at how you can author yourself into authority, wealth, and fame. We are glad that we're having these conversations because as we enter into the year 2023, we are expecting a lot of individuals to begin to package their knowledge and the experiences into published books that can make money for them in the year 2023 and beyond. And that's why we are having these conversations. We've had plenty conversations so far. This is another one, having conversations every day at 6 p.m. in the evening till the 28th of December 2022. So Mark is here already. Mark Onyebuchi is already here with us in the. I'm sorry, Mark Onyekachi is already here with us in the house, and we will be having this conversation with him. Welcome, Mark. Thank you so much for honoring us with your invitation. We've seen your profile. We've talked about your profile within the group and also on Facebook. But we want you to give us a rundown of yourself. You know, from your childhood to the things that you have done up until this moment when you are now that you are now a published author and you are doing great with your book. Please go ahead and share with us at this point in time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Maker. My name is Mark Onyekachi. I was born in Lagos, and I was born to an Ongwa parents. My late dad was an Ongwa, and my mom too is also an Ongwa. So Ongwa is a group of people in Abia State today. The Ongwa people are being said to be the largest ethnic group in the Igbo race. So I grew up, I did my primary school and part of my secondary school in East. After the death of my dad, I had to relocate to East and I joined a high school, Adventist Secondary Technical College, Oriental, Abia State. And I must say categorically that going to that school changed a lot about my life. It was a turning point in my life because most of the things I'm doing today, that school gave me the platform to think that I can achieve it. Courtesy of the principal then, Dr. Kesike Wangwa, I give so much kudos to him for what he did to us. After then, I proceeded to University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and then while I was there, I totally funded myself in school. I did some menial jobs as an undergraduate in my first year. My second year, I also engaged in different various services where I was teaching my classmates and some other levels, mathematics and physics, to be able to survive and have funds to take care of my bills. By the grace of God, I had access to some scholarships, over 3 to 4 scholarships, and that was able to take care of my bills from my third year to my final year. And while I was in school, I was enterprising. I went into different form of entrepreneurship. I had businesses I co-founded with some other classmates, and I also had a shuttle business then I was running in school, but was poorly managed. After school, I proceeded for my NYC, and while I was doing my NYC, I started up a clothing business, which was wrecked by one of a close relative in Port Harcourt. That experience was so touching that I had to relocate to Abia State to try to survive. And because of that relocation, I went on to start up my master's at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where I did a master's in water resources and environmental engineering. And while doing that MSc, I thought of authoring a book. I thought of contributing to the society, and I also thought of how I could become an authority famous for positive and build wealth around book authoring. And that gave birth to going around collating this data and putting up this book. It took over 4 years, and the title of the book is 100 Okwangwa Icons, which involved putting up the profiles of sons and daughters of the Ungwa and the Okwa extraction, both located in Abia State, in a compendium, profiling them to celebrate excellence. And God willing, in 2022, um, 2022, yes, 2022, April 18th, we were able to unveil those books. And since then, we've been having opportunities to talk about this book on different platforms. I've been on channels, I've been on TVC, I've also been on NTA, and hopefully BBC by next year to talk about those book and some other things I've done. In the past few months, over 6 to 7 months, I ventured into real estate trying to help clients invest profitably in real estate. And it has been quite an experience. Owing to my civil engineering background, it has quite been an engaging journey. There have been ups and downs, but overall, it's been worth it. And that's what I do full time, trying to help clients, friends, families to invest profitably in lands in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Maker. Thank you.
Mm, thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for that brief rundown about your life and your journey so far. I'm quite glad that you were able to share that with us. Also, noticing the experiences that you've built over time while going through the phases of your life. My particular interest is in the fact that why did you decide? Because I see that you are a very, let me use the word, you're a proud Ungwa guy. You're a proud Ungwa man. I mean, you carry your identity, you're that label, that Ungwa, that Ungwa identity. You're carrying it so much. Well, my best friend is from Ungwa. He's based in Canada right now.
Okay.
We used to hear these nasty things many years ago about why people used to eat people. We there was this particular story that stuck in our head that the very first white man that came to the southeast landed in Ungwa, and he had a rally bicycle. I don't know who came up with that story. He had a rally, this rally bicycle of many years ago,
Yeah, so,
that
yeah.
big rally bicycle. And then they kidnapped the guy, the white man, and then they cooked him and ate him, and then they hung his bicycle somewhere in Nungwa. And then when you're entering Nungwa, you see where they hung his bicycle. Man, it was a very funny. As young people there, we believed it. I was like, man, until I now had my friend from Ungwa. And to tell you the truth, when I went to his village the first time that his father died, when we were going to this village, to the village, a lot of people came. When I said we are going to, they were like, Emeka, be careful, oh, don't come out at night. Oh, when you come out at night, be very careful, be looking around, they will kidnap you and eat you alive. I mean, I think that was, we had already left university at the time when his father died. We left university 2003. I mean, people at that time were still saying such things about Nungwa people. So someone like me now, I'm always a disruptor in my thinking. I'm like, this thing with the people they say, I go check them by myself. So I went, I needed night. We came out. I mean, instead of me even going into the house to be urinating in the night, I was coming out. I mean, I opened the burglary proof, come out, they shine eye, they look, and then this kind of funny stuff. So that
Wow.
helped me to debunk a whole lot of things that people keep saying about a particular ethnic group. But my question is this: why are you so peculiar or particular about your identity, your ethnicity as an Ingwaman, and then that led you to start writing about the icons from that ethnic group? Tell us about this. I mean, because I think there's a lesson to learn here regarding ethnic identities as we live our lives.
All right, thank you. You agree with me that every ethnic group has one or two things they are known for or assumed to be known for or identified with. I'm glad you also have a friend that is from Ungwa in Canada that has also helped in changing your mindset about the Ngwa people? Well, honestly speaking, I'm a very proud Ngwa man, but it started lately, 8 to 9 years ago. As a growing child, I went to school on a particular. I like sharing this story. I went to school on a particular day, and my teacher called my attention and told me that she had that was from Ungwa, and I said yes. She told me that she had that the Ungwas are cannibals that will eat human meat. I felt so bad about that. I felt so bad. But my classmates, as kids, they started teasing me with it. And I went home, I approached my both parents who come from the Ngwa extraction, and I asked them that question, were we ever cannibals? And my parents told me no, that we were not. I went back to school after the midterm break. My teacher continued that I wish I had the power to have sued my teacher to court then. I would have done that. But lo and behold, I grew up without stigma. When I went to high school, I wasn't really proud telling people that I come from the Ngwa extraction because I didn't want to be identified as a cannibal. Simply because my parents did not give me a convincing information. My parents were not able to convince me that what I had or what I was told was not true. I got to high school, graduated, went to university, and I was always claiming different part of Abia State until my third year when I attended the Federation of Ungwa Students, and two professors came to speak to us. One is a professor of English, the other one is an emeritus professor of English too, Professor Benson, who authored Intensive English, which I know a good number of us on this call had used that book in our secondary school. And he talked about who the Ungwa man is. I got so interested in his speech and I met him after then and I told him, say, I want to know more about the Ungwa people. He was happy and gave me a book titled Abam British Rule. In that book, the author, who is late today, talked about the origin of the Ngwa people, said a whole lot of things about the Ngwa people, and I started changing my orientation of who the Ngwa people is. I went further to buy a book which authored by Professor Johnson Origi, where he talked about the Ngwa race and its gynecology and its geology. Yeah, I read that book, and that book gave me a very firm insight about the Ngwa people. And after that period, my mind changed and I started asking myself, how can I contribute to the society? How can I change the narrative about the Ngwa people? A lot of people out there think about we in a very bad light. But I had to take it upon myself. I started, having platforms to talk about the Ngwa people. I shared about our history, our culture, who we are, how unique and peculiar we are. And that began to also change some persons in my cycle about what they think about the Ngwa people. That was not enough. I had to start thinking on how to document a history about the Ngwa people. There's a book about that, which also gave birth to those icons, profiling them. Now, why did we write this book? I led the authoring of those books. I also have three other co-authors. Now, we wrote this book to also change the narrative that the Ngwa people have also produced or also have famous people that have done well in different aspects of the world or of the industry. We have people that have done well in commerce, in finance, in agriculture, in academics, in health, and everything you could think of. So that's 100 Kwangwa icons is to profile 100 people from this extraction that has done so well, that I can also speak up, that can also speak up on our behalf and say, okay, the Ngwa people are not what they think we are. So that was really gave birth to, that compendium. Now, but that book talks about two people, the Ngwa and the Okwa people. So the Okwa people are more of our neighbors, right? So if you're traveling from Abia State to Port Harcourt, when you get to the likes of Ngweyekwe, you get to Obehe, and you keep going down to the bridge that divides Abia State and Port Harcourt, those others are the Okwa extraction. When you talk about the Afam power station, the Obibo, yeah, it used to be part of Okwa, which is Abia State. So they share a lot in common because politically we do things in common. Our culture, our tradition are almost similar. So I started thinking, okay, what can I also do that will unite the Ongwa and the Okwa people together? That gave birth to those book, the 100 Okwangwa icons. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you. And I'm glad that you are on this live stream with me at this point in time because your book is a different kind of book. I could write books by just taking my experiences, my own unique experiences, and then put them in form of a book and extract the lessons and put in the perspectives and all that. And then it becomes a book. But for you to have done this, I'm glad for all these conversations we've had so far on this summit. Your book is extremely different. I mean, it's peculiar in its presentation, in its content. And I know that for you to have been able to do this, you had lots of conversations, lots of visitations, lots of discoveries, digging in and all that you did to be able to extract and compile the right kind of information for the public to read. Take us on a journey. I have never been on the kind of journey that you have done. I mean, for all the books I've ever done, I don't think I've left my house to go and interview someone or go to the library to go and dig in library and all that. And I know you did a lot of that. Give us an insight to your experiences. And if you have a copy of the book, please show us the copy of the book there so that we can see a copy of the book and the amazing work that you guys have done compiling that book. So take us on a journey. How did you do your interviews? How did you do your research? Did you have to travel? Did you go to certain deep places? Did you get to shrines or whichever? Or, tell us what you did.
All right, yeah, thank you, Emeka. If you recall, you were part of this project because in the second year of this project took 5 years because at the end of the day, we were able to produce two books. One was a historical book about the Ngwa and the Okwa people, and the other, which we're talking about on this call, is a compendium where we selected 100 persons. Like, remember in 2019, I had approached you and I sent you a manuscript for you to go through it. And when you went through the book, you were quite impressed. And that was how I knew Warita. You recommended me to work with Warita on publishing that book. I have no regrets working with them because they gave the best out of that book. When I saw the final print, we went back to back on that. Special thanks to Fola and his team for being patient with me because I'm almost a perfectionist. So most times I'm always traveling to Lagos to make sure that what I asked Fola and his team to do was what they did or what they are doing. And at the end of the day, everybody that has seen that book, that has felt that book, you know, love it. And people feel good. The 100 persons in that book, okay, 90 are living. We have 10 posthumous. People feel so good being profiled. They feel so good that, oh, out of how many persons I was recognized as one of the 100 persons that have made impact in the society. So for me, that book was a killer. It was top notch. It was all about celebrating excellence, recognizing people that have made impact in the society, and telling them well done, telling them that we've seen what you've done, we want you to do more. And also, it was also a platform to unveil some silent achievers, some persons that have done things and people don't even know about them. Because when you tell people to do more, when you celebrate people for what they have done, I believe they will do more than that which they've done. To share you through the journey, this project started in 2016, 17, and um, we were seven in the team when we started. You know, so we're young. We were young persons. I did the recruiting. We're all friends, and the Ungwa people. We occupy seven local government areas in Abia State. So the Aba you hear about is under the Ungwa extraction. So you have the Aba North and the Aba South. You have Ishalangwa North, Ishalangwa South. You have Obingwa. You have Ugunabo. You have yeah, I think I think that's all. Then we have the Okwa East and the Okwa area that makes up two local government area in Abia State. The Okwa we talk today is the oil producing local government areas in Abia State, most precisely Asa in Okwa West. That's where you have the oil wells. The Abia State today is recognized as one of the states in the Niger Delta Development Commission is because of the oil wells we have in Okwa, right? Now, this period took a lot because we started by putting down a criteria for selection. We started by writing letters to individuals like started by traveling. I did lots of traveling mostly. I was always shuffling Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. You write emails to people. they want to see you. They want to be sure you're real. They want to be sure you don't just need their information. They want to be sure you're not a scam. So of these 100 persons in that book, I can categorically tell you that we met over 95% of them. The other 5% were people who couldn't reach through, and we had to either reach through them to their children. And most of them were posthumous, people that we don't have access to their normal living, but we need them to be in that compendium. People that without them, the Ungwa and the Ukwa people will talk about today might not have made so much impact. These were people that laid down their life, their resources to make sure that we get to where we are. So we felt it was very important to have them in that book, and we did everything possible. So at first, people were not believing us because I could recall meeting some persons that they'll make reference to some other persons that have started similar projects that they even give funds and they never heard about them. So you hear them asking you questions. How sure are we that this one you're doing is going to suffice? I'm sure we won't give you money and you will just go, won't hear about it again. But the funny thing is, the funds were not coming. People, you ask people for their profile and picture. You don't need to ask them for money, because the moment you ask them for money, it turns most of them off. So we weren't doing that. So what we do, we write a letter to you telling you why you've been nominated to be profiled as an icon. What we'll do that, we ask you for two things. We'll ask you for your CV or your citation and a studio picture of you. That's all. That's what we did. At the end of the day, I think we got over 140 profiles, meaning we reached out to over 140 people, both in Nigeria and in diaspora. These were people that turned in their profile. Other persons we reached out to did not send in their profile and all that. So the whole process was hectic, it was demanding, it required lots of sacrifices, lots of traveling. They were short of funds. People didn't even believe in the project. At a point, my family had to tell me, why don't you leave this thing, focus on your life, go get a job, go sort out your bills and do that. I was just bent on, I needed to change the narrative. I needed to contribute to the body of knowledge. I needed to make an impact. I needed people to know that, oh, there are young people that are like this, that are youthful and useful. So that was why we persisted for that 5 years with no salary for 5 years. So this was for me, okay, my co-authors, they had other things they were doing, but for me, it was a full-time job because I needed to travel. So I remember one day I was in Abia State and I needed to meet a serving senator, Senator Nkechi precisely. I've been trying to track her for more than 6 months. The PA just called me that the senator asked me to come see him tomorrow in Abuja. I could not have offered to tell the senator. I could not have told the PA that I'm not in Abuja. I told him no problem, and I can't travel by road. I needed to fly. So I had to seek for funds to fly to Abuja to meet her. Those experiences are countless because I was operating more from Abia and Enugu where I was doing my postgraduate studies. So if I get a call, I travel down, I take the risks and all that. We kept on doing that. So when we got 145 profiles, I was like, no, we need to make this thing, iconic. Let's trim down to 100. But I got the concept of the 100 from Forbes magazine. So I subscribed to Forbes magazine. So every month I get Forbes magazine. So I knew there was this time they celebrated their 100th edition. So that was where I got the concept and what the cover page could look like. We started looking at the criteria to trim this down, and we had to set up a board, a robust board that involved very sound people to help us look at each person's profile and why he or she qualifies to be in that. At the end of the day, we had 100. It wasn't easy, but we had to trim it to 100. And what really saved up was that we weren't asking people for money. Because if we were asking people for money to appear on that compendium, and I know maybe you gifted me 100,000 naira and you don't see yourself in that, probably I'll be having court case. I won't even be here because this person will sue me to court, or this person will say, return my money, or to that messed our reputation as young people. But we're so careful to keep money aside and say, okay, if at the end of the day this thing pays us, or fine. If it does not, well, let's just know we've done something. And at the end of the day, we had those things, we went to press. Getting money to fund this was also a big problem. We had to write to the state government of Abia State, wrote to some reputable persons, politicians, individuals, and to be honest, they all failed. They all failed. The only people that came through is a club one of the most prestigious Ngwa club in Nigeria. And one of the oldest Ngwa club in Nigeria, Ngwa Social Club. I give kudos to them. They came through. I was on them for about 4 or 5 years. I was always attending their meetings in Lagos. I was always building relationship with them and all that. And as luck will have it, I wrote a letter to the president. He invited me to Lagos, I think sometime last year, towards the end of last year, to make a presentation. And after my presentation, they were thrilled with what I told them and how they can benefit from me because we started looking at having a hall of fame in years to come, where some of those persons that appeared in this compendium would also appear in that hall of fame. So they bought into that, and I also told them that the most important thing of this project is two things: celebrating excellence, recognizing those persons, and most importantly, creating a connect between the younger generations, which is we, and them, where we can have access. I haven't read their profiles, where they started from, how they did what they did. We can have access to them. Their stories can serve as a means of motivation to us to do better. So I think this kind of stories, they bought into it since they felt that our youths were almost losing out. But if people could come together and put up those things, boom, they gave us some support. Not just some support, like a huge support. That support took us to press. And after publishing, we needed funds to go around the unveiling, the launching, and all that. Well, friends, senior friends, families, and every other person that supported came through, and we had a book launch. In summary, it was an experience. It was an experience. Will I want to do that again? Yes, I want to do that again. Yes, but I know if I'm going to do that again, I'm going to do it differently because I already have a prototype of what I've done before. And when I'm talking to you or talking to a body that this is what I've done and this is what I want to do again, they will listen to me because I already have results. But the experience was worth it, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. The essence of us doing this is for us to learn from, for those of us who really want to go this way of doing such books that have to do with research and with exploration. I like that a whole lot that you've been able to do this. So tell us, how has it been ever since you published the book? Because we're looking at authoring yourself into wealth, authority, and fame. So with publishing the book, how has it been? Help us explore these three contexts. These three concepts of authority, wealth, and fame, vis-a-vis launching this book of yours.
All right. Thank you so very much. So I must say this, that the book itself was the best thing I had done in the past 5 years of my life. I say this unapologetically because I got a job with Access Bank and I went to training school, and after a while I left. I'd already started the book before going to training school. I had to leave because I couldn't combine my job with the book. I didn't want the book project to die because I was passionate about it. When I started collating the profiles of the people, when I started seeking for recommendation, Mr. Maker, it will shock you to know that the Ngwa people and the Ngwa people have so many personalities that have done well. The likes of, okay, the governor of my state is from the Ngwa extraction. The Abaribe, Senator Abaribe, is from the Ngwa extraction. The former Senate President Adolfo Zwabara is from the Ukwa extraction. The first House of Rep member, the first Speaker of the House of Reps is from the Ngwa extraction, the late Judge Anwachiku. You talk about industrialists, you talk about business tycoons, the likes of Eda Delu Emmanuel from the Ngwa extraction. You talk about a former ICAM president, Mr. Chidi Ajebu, from the Ngwa extraction. You talk about the current CEO of UBA, Mr. Alex Alozi, is from the Ngwa extraction. You talk about Dr. Chidi Amuta, a writer, a prolific critic from the Ngwa extraction. The emeritus Professor Benson. I'm trying to release this name. Currently we have a brigadier general, we have an air vice marshal. The Dr. Chibuzo Chinyere of OPM is from the Okwa extraction. We have a renowned gynecologist, the former Super Eagles player Uche Okechukwu is from the Ngwa extraction. The first female pilot in Nigeria, in Africa, Captain Chinye Onyenuchia, is from the Okwa extraction. the former VC of APSU, Abia State University. The current VC of Abia State University is from the Okwa extraction. The former VC of Abia State University, Professor Uche Kone, who happens to be the governorship candidate of the People Democratic Party, is from the Ngwa extraction. He handed over to an Okwa person who is a professor in accounting as the vice chancellor of Abia State University. So I'm trying to roll out those names to let you know that we've also produced great people. The MD of Arise TV is from an Nkwa extraction, Miss Ijoma Wogugu. We have a good number of them. The former CBN governor is from the Ngwa extraction, Paul Oguma. Nkiru Sivanus, the actress, is from the Okwa extraction. The former Minister of Labor, Wogu Chukwemeka, is from the Ngwa extraction, and so many of them. So why I'm saying this is, if I've never ventured into those projects, I would not have known that those people, these names I hear about, are from the Ngwa and the Okwa extraction. So venturing into this thing was the best decision I took 5 years ago. Now, what this did for me and my team is it made us know, or it gave us access to lots of people we would never have met so soon. Probably if we were going to meet them, maybe if we have a political ambition and all that, and we might not really have access to a good number of them because we don't have the money. So this book gave us access to them. We met the governor of my state in 2019. We met him in 2020. We met the governor's wife. I never knew someday, yes, that I was going to have access to sit with the governor of my state, dine with him, meet the wife, and all that. Irrespective of the fact that the children of the governor of my state who went to the same secondary school, they were even they were roommates. We were all roommates in the same hostel, but I never saw them becoming the governor's children. All right. So the book gave us authority. It gave us fame. Fame in the sense that we knew people and we are still knowing people, and the book is still opening doors to know more people. I had a meeting today before this, and it was courtesy of this book. I've been able to meet some persons in the National Assembly. It is this book. If I was working in a 9 to 5 job, the chances that I would meet those persons is very slim. Very honestly, is very, very slim. Except I'm going to resign my job and go focus on a particular thing to make me attract this kind of persons. But this book gave us, I and my team, that audience, that opportunity to meet those people and converse with them. So fame, yes, we did. We've been able to appear on radio stations in my state. Before the book launch, I knew personally I appeared on over 5 to 6 radio stations talking about this book. That's it. The book brought that fame. I've been on channels, I've been on TVC, and on NTA, and hoping to be on other stations, courtesy of this book. If I didn't write this book, I may not have had a product, an offering that will take me there. And Warita on their own part too has also given us fame. I'm doing this. I was mentioned on Guardian newspaper. Warita made it possible. So for fame, we've gotten good fame, but we're still doing more because we have a big time goal for this project. Our big time goal for this project is to have a hall of fame where those persons can, we can have pictures of those 100 persons in that hall of fame and also do other things around the hall of fame. Now, for authority, yes, we are the first. We are the first known youths that have embarked on such projects. So any person that is coming after us to do this would always make reference to what we have done. Would also, in a way, seek our consents, because this project is copyrighted. So we have the license to do this. So if you're going to do this, it's either we are partnering with you or we are going into an agreement with you to allow you to do this. We also have plans of in the next 2 3 years to review this 100 persons, and also bring in other young persons. We're also looking at things like under 30, um, under 40, under 45, and all that. Awards, those ones will be in awards category. We're also looking at having a meet and greet session for these 100 people differently, where they can come by next year, talk to youths on different aspects in business, politics, leadership, entrepreneurship, finance, whatever aspects um, they can deal on. We're going to have a meet and greet section for them to come talk. So it's going to create more authority about the book and about us that authored the book. Now, what? Yeah, we launched the book, and some persons have redeemed their pledge, and some other persons are yet to do that. But overall, I think they have done well. And some persons that were unable to come for the book launch, we've also met them personally, and they are also showing commitment to fulfill their obligations as a way of support, because we keep telling them that, say, we want to produce more copies of this book, because we want to have those books in libraries in Nigeria and in diaspora. And this book currently is in Oxford University, is also in Calgary University in Canada. And we are looking at by next year having partnership with universities in Abia State and some other states, where students can have those books in their libraries, read through them, get inspirations, and do work. That would also be a major source of income for us, a recurring income for us if schools, come into this and partner with. We already have conversation with Abia State University, Clifford University. I'm already talking to University of Nigeria and Suka. So once this comes to pass, I believe we're going to build more financial resources out of it. Yeah. So thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. It's already nighttime here. We usually do this session 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and we are done. Okay, guys, as you are here with us right now, please go ahead and share this live stream. Let a lot of other individuals, enjoy what we have enjoyed so far on this live stream. Okay, all right. So, Mark, my final question is this. How has it been for you working with Warrior? What has experience been? And then from there, you can segue into what your plans are, your aspiration for 2023, and what your plans are for the book as we begin to go into 2023.
All right. Thank you. Special thanks to Fola. I must say Fola and his team, they are doing so well. I've been recommending Warita to friends that want to publish. I had a conversation with him a few days ago, and I recommended some friends to work with him. Warita has given me and other persons this platform, the newspaper and some other things, TVC appearance and all that. Warita made it very possible. Fola, you guys are doing awesome. You guys are doing amazing job, and I know you're going to do more than that. What you've done. The app, the book place app is already. I think is almost being launched, and I know that app is going to do wonders in the world. Now, as for the book, just like what I likely said, we're going to organize a meet and greet session next year with those persons, where we will have them quarterly. Some persons come talk to, us on different aspects on what we can do, as a source of motivation to the youth. And we can also look at having a pet project by mid next year where we can say, okay, proceeds from those book, a certain percentage of proceeds from those book will be used to do this. So it could also stand the test of time. And so, okay, this was what we also did apart from, you know, using the funds to do other things. So we're looking at the meet and greet session next year. We're also looking at reviewing the book, and not really going to publishing, but also looking at it and see how we can make it better. And I think we also have a project, a similar project, that will be coming up by next year. And for me, I'm into real estate. I help clients get properties in Lagos, Abuja, and um, Port Harcourt. For 2023, uh, the goal is just one thing: to do big things and to do great things. And these big things and these great things would cover every aspect of my life, my finance, my spirituality, my leadership skills, entrepreneurship, academics, and personal development. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. I am so excited that you are having this. You have done this project, and you will have these aspirations and dreams for 2023. Thank you to everyone who joined us. Tomorrow again is another. Okay, tomorrow, yeah, 24th is another time for another beautiful conversation with another powerful mind and author that will share with us his or her journey. I want you to tune in tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. for that conversation. Thank you so much, Mark.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you
grateful.
so
I'm
much.
here in the city of Owerri. I'm here to have a good time for the Christmas holidays with my family and my parents. But then, nevertheless, we will still be having this conversation up until the 28th of December. Thank you, Mark. I'm very
Thank
excited
you,
about
Mark.
your. I'm going to also talk about your book. Don't think I've forgotten. I always have things piled up, and they
No
are
problem.
there for me to showcase. Definitely.
No problem.
So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who tuned in
Thank you
from
so much.
different parts of Nigeria and outside of Nigeria. DK from London, Chidera Favor watching from Owerri, Aminat watching from Nigeria. Yeah, I don't know. Innocent Ohiri watching from Lagos. Adeleye Eunice, thank you. Amaka Omoike watching. Dan Arobasa, thank you so much, guys, for staying up until this moment. God bless you all. See you
Thank
again,
you.
same time, 6 p.m. tomorrow. God bless you. From me to you, Mark, in Lagos, and here for me in Owerri, and to everyone who tuned in. God bless and have a happy holidays, happy Christmas to everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.